Taipei Game Show brought us the first official look at Wuthering Waves' latest iteration of combat, and I want to talk about 5 changes since the first closed beta test that are a bigger deal than you might first think. This is the screen that you see when you launch the game. It seems that when you click to enter, it's still going to focus in on the rover you chose to play as. In this case, female rover. It's probably for the best that she's no longer awkwardly leaning on nothing, though she did look pretty cool. However, the ominous glow of her eyes seems to have been reduced. It's hard to say whether this is an upgrade because I think I preferred it before. It definitely makes me miss Rover's old design. It looks like the rovers are underwater, but in reality, the sky around a Tacet Field takes on the appearance of water and reflects onto the surface below. The time of day used to change on the login screen back in the first closed beta, and I hope that will still happen because it added a lot of character. During the last test, mouse and keyboard was the only way to go, but Kuro Games promised controller would be available in the future. Thanks to the 2 gentlemen demoing the game here on IGN's stream, we can see that the future is now. The UI here looks clean and easy to understand, and is very reminiscent of Genshin Impact's controller UI. Which is great, because Genshin's controller mode is excellent. Many other games use this style, including the likes of Final Fantasy XVI. Although I play many games using mouse and keyboard, including Kuro's other game, Punishing Grey Raven, I longed for a controller while playing Wuthering Waves' first closed beta test. I imagined it would be the most comfortable way to play the game, and seeing this makes me look forward to it even more. We can see the guys here are using an Xbox controller. Fingers crossed Wuthering Waves has PlayStation inputs too. Speaking of Genshin Impact, the UI in Wuthering Waves' first closed beta had near identical keybinds to Genshin, and that seems to still be the case. Is that a bad thing? Well, no. If you play certain genres of games, you get used to using certain buttons to play them, and when games switch it up, it can feel bad to jump between them. Given the millions of people who will have played Genshin Impact beforehand, a familiar layout will help ease them right into the game. I actually tried Genshin after I played Wuthering Waves' first closed beta, and because I got used to the keybinds, it was very easy to get started in Genshin. It's a small thing, but it's a decision I'm a fan of. Familiarity is good, and Wuthering Waves is inching closer to its own identity with this iteration. As for the visual design of Wuthering Waves' UI, it's made minor improvements to the HUD since the first beta, but from what little we've seen, the menus are already looking way better. It's hard to really get a sense of it from the demos, so I'll hold my feedback on this until I can play the latest beta myself. We got a flash of both keyboard and controller layouts, but only by accident because the demo UI bugged out and overlaid both kinds on top of one another. Whoops. Parties still consist of 3 characters as opposed to Genshin's 4, and Wuthering Waves has more buttons to press in combat as well. We know that Kuro Games as a company is very combat focused, so this comes as no surprise. This is a huge improvement over the placeholder UI, but it could always get better. That said, I love how satisfying it feels now to watch enemy HP bars decrease. This demo takes place in a Tacet Field, which is a type of location you can interact with to fight enemies known as Tacet Discords for rewards you can claim using Wuthering Waves' version of Stamina. Back in the first closed beta, these places were bleak. From the dev interview, we know that these will now have some random elements to spice things up. Activating a Tacet Field creates a sort of domain for the Tacet Discords that spawn, draining the life from your surroundings. It was a cool idea for these corrupted areas to have the color blasted out of them, but everything felt a little too one-note. Visually, they were boring, and they were frequently seen around the world, which made them feel repetitive. Because the world itself was dull, it made it hard to appreciate what you had saved by eliminating the threat. In this demo, activated Tacet Fields feel dark rather than dull, using purples and blues to signify corruption, which is much more exciting visually. TDs felt almost invisible against the backdrop before, but now pop nicely. The purple parts of the enemies seem to glow more brightly to aid in this. When the Tacet Field has been neutralized, you can see warmth burst into the area. The general color palette of the game is so much more varied and alive now, causing the Tacet Fields to feel more threatening by extension. The Taipei Game Show demo allowed for zero exploration as it locked players into a confined area. On the upside, this restraint allowed us to get a great look at the latest versions of Baichu, Danjin, and Jian. Baichu, formerly known as Bailan, was one of my biggest concerns for the previous beta. She was one of the early trio of characters you could acquire for free through the story. Despite being a healer, she fights as a summoner type character with this creature, Yotan. Except, the controls on Yotan felt awful and sluggish, and targeting enemies with it was rough. All in all, there was a distinct lack of fun, and I felt bad for her. With a new name and new outfit, and quite a literal glow up for Yotan, Baichu is keen to shake off her initial impression. The motions of her attacks look snappy. Yotan darts between enemies, and thankfully, the best attack she had is here to stay. Danjin is a character who required a bit of skill to use optimally in the first closed beta. She reduces her HP when attacking, and through certain attacks gains it back again. These testers aren't familiar enough with the game to know how she works, but I have a feeling that her gameplay loop paired with her updated animations will make for a fun time. Jian is the highest rarity character in this party, and it shows. His attacks are fluid and flashier than ever. There's a real glow to his special effects that didn't seem to be present in the past. He really demonstrates the difference in combat feel between the first closed beta and the second. Jian looked so sad and clunky before, but now he gives the impression of being a character you have to have. The new dodge animation is a huge standout for me. The old version grinded time to a halt, which was cool until you saw it for the 30th time that fight, and realized it was just slowing everything down. The update evokes the same feeling while keeping the quick pace of the combat. And on the subject of movement, Baichu also does this little hop up a step here, and I just think that's neat. Every character looks like a delight to control now. The difference 9 months of development made to this game is unbelievable. Each of these changes will have a huge impact on the feel of Wuthering Waves going forward. And the changes run far deeper than this, so you'll need to watch this video to find out just how much Wuthering Waves has evolved in the last several months.